Is there something more valuable than money in our lives? Well, we're going to talk about one thing on today's 5-Minute Focus.
Welcome, everybody, to today's 5-Minute Focus. Boy, that sounded enticing. What one thing? There are some
more
things,
than money.
There are some things more valuable than money. They really are. We don't think there's many of those, but there are several. But today we're going to talk about one, and it's found, the whole principle for this is found in Proverbs chapter 22. And let me just read it to you. It says, a good name, that's what this is about. A good name, or your reputation, is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed by others is better than silver and gold. Boy, that is quite a statement, isn't it?
That does not sound like something that I think we really believe as a culture anymore.
It's not something that we do, but a good name and a reputation, think about how that has ruined people's lives.
Oh,
it doesn't matter how much money they have.
Definitely.
And how it has elevated people to recognition and to other people esteeming them, valuing them, and it has nothing to do with money. It has everything to do with their reputation. So how can we improve our reputation? That's what we're going to focus on today.
Yeah.
How can you and I improve our reputation? When people hear our name, they go, oh, there's good things instead of negative things.
Yeah.
And the first one?
I think the first one is just be honest in everything. Like it's so easy for us to tell these little white lies and justify, well, I needed to tell it in order to save something else. But this is something I learned from day one growing up in my house. Like, your lies will always find you out.
They will.
No matter what, it might not be right away. It might be 10 years out, but they will always find you out. And so if we just be honest in everything, then we don't have to worry about it, right?
And I think the being honest in everything, every one of us, each one of us, we know people who are dishonest. We don't like them.
You can't trust them. You can't count
trust
on them.
And if we feel that way about others, and others would feel that way about us. So be honest in everything. I want to tell you a quick story about be honest all the time, even when people don't know. Really quick, my dad, when I was growing up, my dad owned a stucco, plaster and stucco company. We were stuccoing a house one time, and one of his employees broke a basement window. It was on a new construction. There are other people, there are plumbers working inside. You know, there are people all over. And one of my dad's employees told me, he said, hey, don't tell your dad, but we broke that window, you know, and stuff. And I didn't know what to think. But my dad came around the house. This is 3-4 hours later and said, hey, what happened to that window? And my dad's employee said, well, Doug, you know, we broke it, but don't worry, nobody knows we broke it, you know.
Somebody else will take the blame.
Somebody else will take the blame, and we don't have a lot of people working around here. And I remember as a young child, this influence. My dad looked at both of us and said, nobody else needs to know. We know. That's all that matters. We know we broke it. We are going to fix it, whether anybody knows or not. And I think it's that living with that practice of honesty when nobody's looking will increase your character.
Definitely. I think the second thing we can do is just follow through on your commitments, right? You know, I know in the New Testament, Jesus says, hey, let your yes be yes and your no be no. When you and I, whether it's professionally, relationally, with our kids, whatever, if we say we're going to do something, just follow through. And I think sometimes we're scared to say no, right? And so we make these false promises, commitments, like say yes, say no, and then follow through.
And don't say I'll pray about it. But anyway, that's a different topic.
That's another 5
Yes or
focus.
no? Yeah.
Yes
say yes or no and follow through. Again, I think in every one of these, if you and I look at the people, who are the people you admire? Look in your life. Who are the people you admire? I will guarantee you there are people that are honest all the time, and there are people that finish their commitments. If I say I'll be there, I will. If I say I'll finish that, I will.
Count on you.
You are dependable.
That's the definition of a good reputation.
Yes, absolutely.
I can count on you.
And I think one more thing that we can do, and that is to always encourage others. To really think more about others and what they're going through and how they feel than ourselves. And if we can encourage others, again, ask yourself, who do you like, spending time with? Who do you admire? It's going to be somebody who makes you feel good about yourself.
We generally don't like hanging around selfish people.
No,
everybody
none of us
that
do.
a mile away.
And when we leave their house, we talk about them. Oh my gosh, it's all. So let's not be like that.
Let's not be like that.
A good name, a reputation is more important than gold and riches.
How can you or how can we add value to other people's lives?
I must throw this in there though, but it must be honest, because flattery is a sin. Flattery is a sin. Nobody likes, you can tell when somebody's just flattering others.
Yep.
And like that puke, makes you puke. Don't flatter people, be honest. But look for the good. Elevate people. Encourage others. No, you're not. You know what? You failed in that, but you can do. You got value. You can get creativity. You can do stuff. Yeah. Encourage. Always build other people up, and your own reputation will grow. People will say this about you. There's an awesome person.
I think you will have a better reputation the more you try and push others forward.
Yes.
Than if you do everything perfectly, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So.
Yep, and people will be more forgiving to you, and nobody's perfect. When we fail, if we live our lives being honest all the time, fulfilling our commitments, and elevating others, no matter what mistakes we make, people will overlook them.
Yep.
And we will have a good name. We will have a great reputation.
For sure.
So
hey, I hope that gives you something to think about this week and focus on, and we'll see you next time.
All right.
Hey, we really hope that this video was helpful for you. If you'd like to stay up to date on our weekly content, make sure to subscribe to our channel and click on that little bell icon so you can be notified when new videos are uploaded. And if you'd like to support the ministries here at Access Church and help make videos like this possible, there'll be a link in the description below. As always, we appreciate your partnership in helping us draw people into a growing relationship with God through Jesus Christ.